So I'll probably start in about 2 minutes. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Paramveer Sports Complex in Atlanta, Georgia, for yet another high-stakes match. In this, the 2023 Atlanta Open, this one featuring the Atlanta Fire against the Kingsmen, two of the more star-studded teams in this entire lineup or in this entire tournament. Kingsmen lost the toss. The Atlanta Fire winning the toss and choosing to bat. Aaron Jones thinking that he likes the conditions, and the pitch looks placid. It looks like there will be plenty of runs in it, and these are two absolutely star-studded lineups. And so the batters are going to be Kennard Lewis, who will start out on strike, and the non-striker is wearing number 23, which would indicate that it's Corny Dry. I don't know that Corny Dry would open the batting, but we'll take that in a second. This is Anwar Ali Khan with the new ball in hand, bowling to Kennard Lewis. No run there to start with. Good ball, bang on target. Anwar Ali Khan is a right arm. In fact, it is Corny Dry who's opening the batting. This is an interesting switch. It's a, let's just say it's a pinch hitter approach. Corny Dry, a brilliant opening bowler. If I told you in the first over that Corny Dry's name would be mentioned, you would probably think that I'd be talking about him opening the bowling. Good, tall, right arm fast bowler. But right now, opening the batting, I've seen him bat down the order, and he wields a long handle with great effect. But I've never seen him open the batting. Would be interesting to see how that comes off. Kennard Lewis just running this one down to deep third to get off the mark. Second delivery, we're underway here, one without loss. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a mouth-watering approach. Star-studded team. Both sides have big-name players, either current or former international players. Just going down the Atlanta Fire's lineup. Lendl Simmons is coming in at some point within the near future. Aaron Jones, the captain or the vice captain of the USA team. Justin Dill, former South Africa international, at least the U19 level. Zia Shahzad, playing for Pakistan. Ricardo Powell, the great man from rural Jamaica, about 3 miles away from where I grew up in rural Jamaica, played for years for the West Indies. Rad Emirates also played for the West Indies. Elias Sunny, Farhad Raza, Nasser Hussain. That is your Atlanta Fire team. And then we'll talk in a minute about the the Kingsmen, because they are no less an impressive side. So in the meantime, a couple of good deliveries here. Bowling is being taken up again from the northern end of the ground. This is Anwar Ali Khan. Bowls relatively quickly. I don't know that he's the quickest bowler on offer today, but he certainly is up there in terms of pace. Bowling within himself here to start with. 3 deliveries. Played off the back foot, corner dry, high front arm. My goodness, that was easily going to be very close. That's a good piece of fielding in the backward point area. In fact, in the short cover area, that is Milind Kumar. Quick pickup, one-handed throw, shy at the stumps. He may consider himself lucky there, corner dry, that was not a direct hit, because he generally is somebody who always is going to be in and around the action. Milind Kumar, brilliant hands, great catcher in the field, great fielder, very agile, very quick across the turf. So he is going to be somebody who causes a lot of trouble. So I don't know if you'd ever want to continue running quick singles to him. Kennard Lewis defending this one in front of the stumps, no run. So 1 ball remaining here in over number 1. This is a great start, and you expect to see them cut loose. They bat very deep. Both of these sides bat very deep. 1 ball remaining now in over number 4. over number 1. 1 ball remaining, and we'll see how this ball is handled by Kennard Lewis. Kennard Lewis just off of an appearance in the finals of the Major League, or the Minor League Championship, this past Saturday last Sunday rather, in the Dallas, Texas area. The Grand Prairie Stadium saw the Dallas Mustangs, the home team, take victory in this, the 3rd edition of the championship. Kennard Lewis coming out on the short end there. Squeezed away. Oh, diving attempt. That is a great piece of fielding. Not sure off the bat if that is actually a catch, but either way, it's an athletic attempt, a diving away to his left is that fielder in the covers, and it goes away for a single. So that is the end of things here. First over done and dusted. Corner dry 1, Kennard Lewis 2, scores 3 without loss. Three without loss. We've already gone through the card of the Atlanta Fire. Let's talk about who is in the Kingsmen. Martin Guptill, former New Zealand international at one point, and I don't know whether this is still the case, but at one point held the record for the highest score in a double hundred in a World Cup match, and unfortunately for those of us in the Caribbean, it was against the West Indies. Sharjeel Khan is the impact player, tremendous former first class opening batter from Pakistan. Hammered away for 4. Can't bowl there to Kennard Lewis. He's very strong, really all around the ground, but if it's a half volley outside off, he's going to cash in on those every single time. So it gives us a little bit of time to keep going through the scorecard. Ramiz Raja, former Pakistani first class player. Saad Ali, former Pakistani first-class player. Milind Kumar, former Indian first-class player. Hamad Azam played at the highest level for Pakistan. Hassan Khan, Harmeet Singh, who is actually serving today as the U19 as the vice captain, is a former U19 player for India. Talked about Anwar Ali Khan already. Roman Reyes is out of the lineup, but looking to pull this one away. Not going to go anywhere. Roman Reyes not in the lineup today, but a former Pakistani first-class player himself. Pawan Suyal, Bravesh Shetty, and Mawaz Zahid. Just tremendous talent up and down each of these lineups. And I think you're going to see a scintillating day's worth of cricket. So it's going to be something to pay attention to. And we will watch to see how this all develops, because I'm telling you, don't go anywhere. This is going to be a truly tremendous day's worth of cricket Let's pull up a chair, join us for the next 3 or so hours. Hammered. That's a great piece of fielding. That is Hamad Azam, who saves 4 runs. That ball was headed directly for the boundary at extra cover. Hamad Azam is a right-hander. Dove away to his left. Did well to keep that inside the ring. And I'll tell you, as powerfully as Kennard Lewis hits the ball and as fast as this outfield is, this absolutely would have gone away for 4. So 3 balls remaining now in over number 2. Pawan Siyal, left arm, quick, much quicker than you would think, runs up, sort of lopes to the crease, doesn't exactly sprint in, but delivers at real pace. And in fact, having seen the attack, Captain Hamad Azam is now dropping Saad Ali back onto the boundary because a couple of strokes have gone in that direction. One went for 4 and the other would have gone for 4 had a Singh. And Kennard Lewis simply opening the face and running that one behind point, and it runs away for 4. Just a delicate piece of batting that is counterintuitive given the size of the biceps on Kennard Lewis's arms, but he gets 4 none the same. 8 runs from the over already, 2 balls to come. Here's Pawan Siyal once again. Good ball, bang on target, and fielded by the bowler Siyal in his follow-through. Pawan Siyal opened the bowling for the majority of the season for the Lone Star Athletics in the minor league season. Bowled very well. He was their leading strike bowler. Has the advantage, I mentioned it before, about being a left-arm strike bowler, left-arm swing bowler. Swings it into the right-handers so he can threaten the stumps or LBW that way. And every once in a while he has the odd one go across the right-handers. This is driven into the outfield. Saad Ali with a clean pickup and a throw back into Ramiz Raja behind the stumps. That is the end of 2. 9 from that over. And the score is 12 without loss. Two overs bowled. The score is 12 without loss. First over bowled by Anwar Ali Khan, and he comes back in to bowl over number 3, bowling to Kennard Lewis. Played corner dry. I still cannot get over corner dry being an opening batter. As if he was not talented enough already. He's now adding that to his resume. Brilliant opening bowler. Saw corner dry play in the recently completed Major League season, the inaugural Major League season here in the U.S. And he is now on strike. 1 from 2 so far. Kennard Lewis off to a little faster start, as you would expect from somebody who ordinarily opens the batting. 12 from 11 for him. Smashed. It's going to run away close to the boundary. Harmeet Singh, that's a great piece of fielding. Diving to pull that one back. Saves 2 runs. He was much wider or much straighter than you would think to have been able to get to that one. And runs across the turf, slides, put the big slide in, and then able to prevent that from going for 1. Or going for 4 rather. And so now we'll see how this develops, because corner dry gets 2 there, so he's now up to 3 from 3. But not surprising that you now see Martin Guptill dropping back on the boundary at cow corner, because You'd suspect that Corner Dry is in as a bit of a pinch hitter, and a pinch hitter loves that cow corner area, which is why Martin Guptill is there. Slower delivery. That's not a pinch hit. That is a good-looking elevated off drive that runs away for 4. That had the class of a proper opening batter behind it. Corner Dry, high front arm, high front elbow, and that ball going over the infield. No risk in the shot with mid-off inside the circle, and it runs away for a boundary. So off to a fast start are the Atlanta Fire. 19 runs already. 3 balls to come here in over number 3. And if you're getting runs from Corner Dry in this circumstance as a pinch hitter, that just sets things up for the big hitters later on. Ricardo Powell and company. Oh, look at this. Delicately running this one off the face. Oh, a direct hit there. I'll tell you what, Kennard Lewis jumped to avoid being hit. But had that been a direct hit, he would have been out because he was airborne at the time when he was crossing the crease. And nothing was grounded at the time that the ball would have passed close to the stumps. That would have, if that had hit, he would have been out. So he's going to want to be careful there. They do pinch a single though, so now 8 runs from the over already with 2 still to come. And interestingly, I see Harmeet Singh warming up, so I'm wondering if he's going to come into bowl his left arm spin in this next over. Next delivery, slower delivery, flicked around the corner. Kennard Lewis will just have 1, and so 1 ball to go now in over number 3. Kennard Lewis was the leading batter for the Jamaica Talawas in the Caribbean Premier League in 2022, if memory serves correctly, either 21 or 22. And is a powerfully built batter, very athletic, keeps wicket and also fields anywhere on the field. So just a handy cricketer all the way around. Here's the last ball of over number 3. Slower delivery. Corner Dry not quite timing this, but it trickles into the leg side and they'll be able to jog through for a single. So 10 runs come from 10 runs from the third. So that means that you're halfway through the power play with 22 runs on the board. That's a great start. We'll be right back. over again. Probably wants to go forward to that one. In fact, it was the length that would appear to be the kind that he could go big down the ground on. And this has to be said is not a very large ground. I would estimate the boundaries at about 60 to 65 yards at the most. And so a little surprising that Kennard Lewis, who is naturally an aggressive hitter, did not go after those deliveries as much as you might have thought he would. But doesn't matter. He's done for the day now. Batted well when he was there, 13 from 15 with 2 boundaries, but he has been dismissed. So the first wicket goes down. 4 deliveries into over number 4. The score is 23 for 1. "23 for 1. Captain Aaron Jones coming in to replace his opening batter, Kennard Lewis. And you would have been looking for a quick start from Kennard Lewis. He and Corner Dry put on a good partnership to start. 23 runs inside 4 overs represents a decent start, but you've lost Kennard Lewis, and now Aaron Jones is going to have to recover to make sure that you put things in the position where you get back some of that momentum that you would have lost from having lost that wicket. So Aaron Jones joining Corner Dry, 2 longtime members of the Atlanta Fire. Good ball, bang on target, and that is going to be the 5th ball of the over. So coming up now to the last ball, and this is a good start. Reaching forward, finds the outside edge, played it with soft hands so it doesn't go to slip. But that is Hamad Azam's slip to make sure that the pressure stays on. And look at that, a single from the very first ball, and then 5 dot balls after that, one of which took the wicket of Kennard Lewis. That is the end of over number 4. A great over from Harmeet Singh, 23 for 1 after 4. So interestingly, Pawan Suyal opened the bowling, meaning shared. He can do with the ball in hand. Now we're seeing him do something with the bat as well. Tremendous batting so far for Corner Dry. 14 from 8 with 2 fours. But it did take the top edge and fly over third. And now the fielder at third is inside the circle. So maybe a moral victory for Pawan Suyal, knowing that he found the genuine top edge of Corner Dry's bat. But either way, they count as boundaries in the scorebook. So consecutive fours to start here over number 5. Pawan Suyal maybe getting a little carried away with the short deliveries. Around the wicket now. Yorker. And it goes, squeezes past the under edge and just trickles past the stumps. Don't mind him changing directions or changing his attack. That time choosing to go around the wicket, target the stumps with the Yorker. A dot ball, so we're halfway through over number 5. Bearing in mind the power play is the first 6 overs, so another 9 deliveries remaining inside the power play, after which you can be more defensive with your field settings. Now Hamad Azam directing Harmeet Singh to go back on the boundary at long on. You're allowed 2 outside the circle. Saad Ali is square of the wicket on the boundary, square leg, and long on in position. Everyone else is inside. Here's Pawan Suyal again. Played off the back foot. That should just be a single to extra cover. So fast start, scoring at the rate of 6.86 and over. And it may be entirely too early to get into the conversation about projections, but let's just see where we go from here. This is again a good batting lineup. This batting lineup goes probably 7 or 8 deep. Everyone who is in this side certainly has capabilities with the bat. Pawan Suyal already again, now bowling to Aaron Jones. Left arm around the wicket. Short. Oh my goodness, just guiding it. It falls short of the fielder at backward point. That is Hassan Khan, I believe. And I think they'll get 2 runs. He's indicating that he may just have lost that. But it was, I would think, at a catchable height. Aaron Jones not playing the full-blooded cut shot, more guiding it in the direction of backward point, and it goes for 2. Gets through the fielder. Again, I think that's Hassan Khan. And 2 almost bonus runs that time to Aaron Jones, because he would not have been surprised had that carried all the way to Hassan Khan at backward point. Driven into the offside for no run. So an eventful over. 11 runs come from that over. And at the end of 5, 1 left in the power play, the score is 34 for 1. Harmeet Singh continuing, bowling again to Corner Dry. Back, defending this one, back down the pitch for no run. Corner Dry up to 19 from 11 with 3 fours. Makeshift opener is now the senior partner. Oh, tried to go big. It wasn't quite there for the drive. Corner Dry looking to clear what, again, really appears to be very small boundaries. Looking at the field the way that it is, I would have to think That boundary at cow corner or at long on is probably around maybe on the high side 60. Corner dry, skipping down the wicket. This will be 4 leg buys because the appeal is 4 leg before wicket, and it is not given. Realistically, I don't think you can give that one. Corner dry looking to dance down the wicket. Took one big step, and he's a very tall man, so that big step takes him well down the stumps. And so realistically, there's no way an umpire is going to give that from that far down. The ball would have had maybe another 3 or so yards to travel before it got close to the stumps. So I think the right decision made there. But 4 more runs though, so looking to work this one into the leg side for a single. Note that Martin Guptill is again in that deep cow corner position for corner dry. So you're expecting for him to go big, and that certainly would be the case. Here's his next delivery. Oh, knocked him over. Oh my goodness, he made the same mistake that Kennard Lewis did. Going back to a full straight ball is almost never a good idea. Harmeet Singh is very wily. He gets that ball to come through at pace. And when you go back into your crease, you're not giving yourself much room for error. Because if you go forward, you might miss with the bat, but then usually your pad or something else is in the way. You go back to a ball that full, the ball then only has the simple job of being able to kiss the stumps. And that's exactly what happened here. Harmeet Singh takes 2, bowling both of his overs so far inside the power play. Excellent, excellent bowling for the wily left arm spinner. And 2 wickets down, Harmeet Singh takes the wickets of Aaron Jones, and before him, Kennard Lewis. The Jamaican and the Bajan are victim to the Indian. 1 ball remaining here in over number 6. And now coming to the crease is, I believe, Lendl Simmons. We'll get that confirmed as soon as we are able. Yep, that is Lendl Simmons, a former West Indies and Trinidadian opening batter. These days, in fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, he has the gloves today. So he will be the keeper now facing up to Harmeet Singh. Here's the last ball of the over, floated up there and defended in front of the stumps for no run. Yet another productive over by Harmeet Singh. Good bowling from him. At the end of 6 power plays done and dusted, the score is 39 for 2. $39 for 2 until Captain Hamad Azam, after having seen a quick start by the Atlanta Fire batters, has taken matters into his own hands. Corner dry. Stepping down. Oh, quick single taken there, but a shy at the stumps. That's not bad. A way to keep the batters honest. That is Mawaz Zahid. Takes a shy at the stumps. Corner dry, again used, I believe, in a pinch hitting role, but he's still there, and everyone else is coming and going. 25 from 16 with 4 fours for corner dry. Hamad Azam bowling now to Lendl Simmons. In the air and gone. just guided to backward point. Again, Lendl Simmons not playing the full-blooded cut, just more guiding it and straight to that man Hassan Khan. He generally makes that area, that position his own, and he just guides this one directly into the hands of Hassan Khan. So not a good start. After a promising beginning by the opening partnership, 3 wickets have fallen in quick succession. And all of a sudden, Hamad Azam is into the action, takes a wicket with his second ball. 1 for 1 for him so far, and the Atlanta Fire are 40 for 3. Well, 40 for 3. And here at this time comes in the former West Indian and Jamaican megastar Ricardo Powell. Ricardo Powell, aka Mr. 124 not out. 124 is Ricardo Powell's, for those of you who are students of the game. Ricardo Powell scored 124 runs in a test match against India some years ago. And coincidentally, that 124 not out happens to be the name of his own global sports agency owned by him and his wife Basia. And if I'm not mistaken, I have it on very good authority that it is the #1 cricket agency in North America and the Caribbean. So if you have need for that specific service, if you are a player who needs an agent, you can do worse than speaking to Ricardo Powell and Basia Powell. But now he has other things on his mind, facing up to Hamad Azam. Down the leg side, clipping it away for 4. That whether that came off the bat or pad, it doesn't matter. It is 4 runs. In fact, it did come off the bat, signal there from the umpire. Certainly running away for 4. So Ricardo Powell off of the mark immediately. And some worrisome signs here at the top of the lineup for the Atlanta Fire, because you would not have banked on Kenar Lewis, Aaron Jones, and a third batter already being out. Slow delivery and well defended by Ricardo Powell. So Aaron Jones, Corny Dry's opening batter. Lendl Simmons is the third batter who has been dismissed. So 3 West Indians, at least 3 men of West Indian heritage, 2 West Indians and 1 American, Aaron Jones, playing for the U.S. But 3 of them have been dismissed. Corny Dry still there. Ricardo Powell just running this down to short. Oh my goodness, short third. Thought for a second about going for a run, then changed their minds. So a couple of good deliveries and 1 ball remaining here. Hamad Azam tends to be the man with the golden touch. Everything he touches these days seems to turn to gold. Here he is, the last ball to Ricardo Powell. Running it in the same direction again, choosing not to go for a run this time. An excellent over. 5 runs coming from the over, and a wicket of Lendl Simmons. So that is the end of 7, and the score is 44 for 3. So Hassan Khan with the ball in hand. Good overs being bowled here by the bowlers for the Kingsmen. Did very well to pull things back after the fast start by Corny Dry and Kenar Lewis. Now Hassan Khan, left arm, orthodox spinner. He has two right-handers to bowl at, so he'll be looking to turn the ball away from each of these right-handers. And not only is it the case that you have left-handers or right-handers at the crease with a left-handed bowler bowling to them, but you're looking now outside of the power play to be a little bit more defensive. Quicker through the air. Ricardo Powell, oh my goodness, almost had that one trickle back onto the stumps. Good work from him to sort of kick that ball away from the stumps. Would have been threatening there. So, starting out in here, number 8. Oh, he knocked him over. Somebody else goes back to a full ball and somebody else loses their middle stump. Ricardo Powell. In fact, this is the end of over number 7. So this is 8 in progress. Ricardo Powell again choosing to go back to a full delivery. And you saw Harmeet Singh exploit that from Kenar Lewis. You saw Aaron Jones get dismissed the same way. And now Ricardo Powell also going back to that full ball and losing his furniture, having it rearranged. So 4 wickets are down. And the Atlanta Fire were not planning on this when they chose to bat first. And all of a sudden, you're in the position now where this is starting to look like an inverted batting lineup. Corny Dries at the top of the lineup, 26 from 17 with 4 fours. Justin Dill is the batter who is coming to the wicket. So these are all good batters, all heavy hitters, but somehow they're having trouble coping with the spin of the left arm spinners. First Harmeet Singh and now Hassan Khan. So Justin Dill, we'll see exactly what his approach is. Again, if I were to say before this match started, if we were 45 minutes into the game and we were talking about Justin Dill and Corny Dry, you would have thought that I was discussing them in the context of them bowling. That is not what they're doing here, obviously. This is going to be a challenging situation for the Atlanta Fire because they've lost the 4 of their top order. Hassan Khan now bowling to Justin Dill. Gets a good stride in. Ball kissing off of the, believe that was the back pad. But things have slowed down, almost ground to a complete halt. The run rate is now under a run a ball. 5.87 and over. And the split second, they may have thought that they had an opportunity for a run there, but no. 1 run from the over so far, and this is the last ball about to be bowled. Atlanta Fire are not necessarily looking the way that they thought they would be when they chose to bat. Stroked into the area in the covers, short cover to be exact. Harmeet Singh fields, and that is another absolutely top over. End of 8, the score is 45 for 4. $45 for 4 after 8. Kenar Lewis, Lendl Simmons, Ricardo Powell, and Aaron Jones all back in the hutch. And Corny Dry, who opened the batting, is still there. 26 from 17 with 4 fours. He's now going to be, in fact, he just got a single there. 27 from 18 with 4 fours. And he is joined at the wicket by Justin Dill. Justin Dill, proper all-rounder, a big hitter, and then a good pace bowler. But we're looking now at whether or not they can continue pushing on. This is played into the mid-wicket area. Though they go for a quick run, never run in the misfield is the rule. Taking a chance and doing it there, Justin Dill. And that is almost always a recipe for disaster. This time, though, that direct hit is missed. Has to be said, it wasn't a very strong throw. And that, in fact, is Mawaz Zahid. Very much a loopy type of a throw that completely missed the mark. And so they escape with a single. Next delivery. This is a much more conventional single. Played down to deep square leg for one. So 3 balls, 3 singles. And what you're looking at now is the portion of the innings where you might start looking at projections, because we are 3 deliveries into over number 9. In the air, catchable, and gone. Oh my goodness, you get from bad to worse here, out of the frying pan into the fire, if you will. That ball is pulled by Justin Dill directly to square leg. That is Saad Ali. And he takes a very, very comfortable catch right around chest height. And this match that threatened, or at least that promised to be scintillating and full of activity, is starting to look like it's going to be very one-sided. Half of the side is back into the hutch. We're only at over number 8.4. We do not yet have 50 runs on the board. So, again, I started talking about potentially looking at projections. Right now, the scoring rate is all the way down to 5.54 and over. At 5.54 and over, that projects to a score of 111. Understand that the batting firepower that the Kingsmen have, 111 would not be a threatening target for a 15-over match, much less a 20-over match. So you're going to have to figure out a way to manufacture some runs. 111 is the score now. If you get up to 7 and over, you're at 127. 8 and over, you're at 139. 9 and over, you're at 150. 10 and over, 161. 11 and over, 173. New batter in. Looking to flash outside the line of off stump. Not making contact. But this is not going well. And Nasser Hussain is the new batter. And he's the one who waves at that one outside off. Hamad Azam has a knack of taking wickets. Has a knack of always troubling the batters and doing what he can to knock them over. So 3 runs coming from this over already. Last ball, slower through the air, dropped into the offside. Hassan Khan making that area his own, as I've said. So just 3 runs coming from the over. Excellent bowling so far by the Kingsmen. 9 up, the score is 48 for 5. Hassan Khan to continue. Left arm around the wicket. Now bowling to the man who I did not think would be there after half the side is back in the pavilion. Corny Dry is the one batter who's put his hand up to attempt to bat all the way through here. 28 from 19 with 4-4s. Make that 28 from 20 now. On the back foot, in the air, and 6. That is Martin Guptill down there at deep mid-wicket, but corner dry getting that one well square of him, and it goes all the way for 6. So good-looking shot. Hassan Khan dropping this one just a little too short, and it is pulled away into the deep. Welcome runs, and by the way, that brings up the 50. 54 for 5, corner dry now into the 30s. 34 from 21 with 4-4s, and that 6 that you just saw. So, boy, we're looking now to see whether or not corner dry is going to be able to bat all the way through the innings and then open the bowling. It'll be interesting to see if that happens. Quick through the air, flat, and it's turned into the deep for a single. It's the type of delivery that saw Aaron Jones, Kennard Lewis, and Ricardo Powell all bowled, moving back to a full delivery. That's exactly what corner dry just did, but he does get the bat down in time to get that single. So we are into the 10th. Nasir Hussain skipping down the track, meeting that one on the half volley, just defending it. And so, with 2 balls remaining, we're almost at the halfway stage. Maybe a good time to go through some of the projections again. We'll do that at the end of the over. Hussain defending in front of the stumps, consecutive dot balls. And the last ball coming up in over number 10, 55 for 5, is on the board, but I think they'll be looking to see how they can accelerate. Hammered through the offside, but that's Saad Ali down on the boundary. Single to close things out here in over number 10. So despite the 6, it's actually still a relatively decent over. 8 runs coming from it. We're halfway through the innings. The score is 56 for 5. Look at this. What happened here? Completely. Another wicket goes down, and can you believe this? My apologies. I happened to take my eyes off of the play for just a second. That will teach me to take my eyes off the action, because I looked up and I saw the stumps disturbed. So I'll see if I can describe in just a minute what just happened, but I think it's unmistakable that walking back to the pavilion is Nasir Hussain. So this does not go the way that you want it to. Looking at where we are here, in fact, I can almost go back and tell right now. I'll tell you in a couple of seconds. Oh my goodness, it looks like he was clean bowled. And it is Hamad Azam. Hamad Azam goes right through him, under edge onto the stumps, 6 down. Nasir Hussain is dismissed. Ladies and gentlemen, we may have a shortened match today, because all of a sudden, from the very first ball of the 11th over, finds the under edge of Nasir Hussain's bat, and it trickles back onto the stumps. We have lost 6 wickets inside of 60 balls. Make that 61 balls. Zia Shazad is at the crease. Zia Shazad is going to be, again, partnering with Corner Dry. Corner Dry opened the batting, folks. He's an opening bowler ordinarily. He's being used in a role here where he's opened the batting, and he is still there, 6 wickets down. Good ball, bang on target by Hamad Azam, and defended by Zia Shazad. When Corner Dry came into bat, I thought he'd be coming with a relatively free mindset. Looking. Huh? Hamad Azam again played into the onside for no run. So Hamad Azam is working on yet another miserly over. 3 dot balls already, one of which has already taken a wicket. So Zir Shazad has faced now 2 deliveries. Been there, coming in to join with Corny Dry. Corny Dry 35 from 22. Advancing down the wicket, looking for the quick single here. Look out. Oh. Not picking that one up cleanly. You get the sense that had Mawaz Zahid picked that up cleanly, he may have had a chance to run out Zir Shazad at the non-striker's end. But they will take the single. My goodness, they need way more than that now. But as they say, the smallest journey, or the longest journey, begins with the smallest step. A long way to go here, though. And 57 runs on the board, 6 wickets already in the hutch. Here's, oh, the ball is lofted in the air. The simplest of catches. You have got to be kidding me. Well, that is the end of Corny Dry. Corny Dry opened the batting, 35 from 23 with 4 fours and a 6. But he does not control this one, playing just a touch in front of his body. The ball loops in the air, easy as you like, about the simplest of catches that you'd ever hope to see. And Hamad Azam once again among the wickets. 1 run from this over so far with 1 ball to come, and has already taken 2 wickets. So we are actually at the stage where they may be in trouble of not batting out the full 20 overs, the Atlanta Fire. They're 57 for 7 with 1 ball remaining in over number 11. And so now coming to the wicket is going to be Farhad Reza. And this entire Farhad Raza, my apologies. The entirety of this game has changed in terms of the complexion. The complexion, you were looking, at least I thought we were looking at something around 170 or so as a starting point for the first innings.
Ball comes here, please catch it. One just came through this.
Bang on target again, Hamad Azam. That is all that he needs to do, because he's dominating right now with the ball and with his captaincy. Everything that he does has come up trumps. And 1 run from that over number 11. 2 wickets gone. 18 runs have come from the last 5. The score is 57 for 7. Hassan Khan to continue. This is defended, and they run through for a quick single. And I'll tell you, we're into the 12th over. 58 runs are on the board. 7 wickets are down. Just the last 3, and nothing but bowlers to come. Boy, Farhad Raza and Zir Shazad have a job to do to rebuild here, and it is not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. Here's Hassan Khan around the wicket, bowling to Farhad Raza coming for a second. Throw down to the keeper's end. Good position by the umpire at square leg to be able to say not out. They get a couple of runs. They'll need a whole lot more than just a couple of runs, but By the way, if you're watching on the feed on YouTube and felt like making any comments to which I can respond, unfortunately, I have the responsibility of communicating by myself for the next couple of hours. In fact, this match may not last another couple hours, but it would be anything that you can provide in terms of a conversation piece. I'm happy to read your comments on the air if you'd like. For example, Siddharth says, not a good batting performance. Siddharth, I'm sorry, I would have to agree with you. This match promised a lot in terms of the big names and in terms of the excitement, and bearing in mind Atlanta chose to bat first after having won the toss. That's swept away down to deep fine leg. That's going to be a single. So Atlanta they did win the toss and choose to bat. When you choose to bat, what you're saying is that I think the conditions are such that my batters can put a big score on the board that will then have the opportunity to defend. That's sliced away for 4. Thick outside edge. Pawan Sial inside the boundary, or inside the circle rather, and this ball is not going to be anything close to being catchable. So fortuitous boundary, but you'll take it none the same. 7 runs already from the over. In fact, that is the end of the over. At the end of 12, the score is 65 for 7. So Hamad Azam into ball his last over. Stroked down the ground, catchable. No, Harmeet Singh cannot get to it, but it's just a single. Hamad Azam, 3.1 overs, no maidens, 4 for 10. Tremendous bowling, absolutely tremendous bowling. So interesting comments here. Assassin 1688, I'll read your comments in just a second after this next delivery. Assassin 1688, Atlanta was on the back foot and panicked before the game opening with corner dry. Considering he generally always at the back end to hit some big ones, always comes at the back end to hit some big ones, I don't know whether or not they panicked. I do know that it is unorthodox to have him come in to the position where he did, advancing down the track. That's not going to be a run. I don't know whether or not it's a panic situation, but I would say that I certainly agree that he can hit big down the order and play with freedom. I don't know necessarily that opening with him, and it's easy to say this in hindsight, of course, but I'd like to know what the thinking was to be able to open with him, because it makes sense if you want to think of him as a pinch hitter that is stroked right down the ground. Harmeet Singh in the right position again, just a single. So if you told me that you were going to use to use corner dry as a pinch hitter, come in at the top of the lineup, get you something like 25 in 10 balls, that makes sense, because you have a lot of batters coming after him and plenty of opportunities to continue a relatively quick rate. But has not been able to do that. Lofted in the air, another catching opportunity for Saad Ali. Simple as you like. That is 8 wickets down. Hamad Azam has 5. Hamad Azam, everything that he touches turns to gold. 3.5 overs, 1 ball to come, 5 for 11. Absolutely unbelievable, and they are making mincemeat of the Atlanta Fire. 1 ball remaining in over number 13, and only numbers 10 and 11 to come. RK Musical Studios, is it a T20 or test match? Well, in the modern day test, think baseball. Baseball in tests, you score around the rate of 5 and over. Well, the scoring rate here is 5.22, so you might well be able to make an argument that this is a test match. And boy, I tell you, this has not started out anything close to the way that the Fire had wanted it to. Hamad Azam is at the top of his game, carrying over from an absolutely successful minor league season that ended with the Dallas Mustangs winning the championship in Grand Prairie on Sunday night of last week, or this week rather. In other words, 3 days ago. And Hamad Azam, with one more ball remaining, now just has to bowl to the left-handed new batter, Elias Sonny. Here is Hamad Azam. Yorker, great delivery, dug out well by Sonny. That is the end of an absolutely spectacular spell. Hamad Azam, 4 overs, no maidens, 5 for 11. He hears it from his teammates as well as from a few fans around. Brilliant bowling, and he has absolutely put the Kingsmen firmly in the driver's seat in this match. 67 for 8 after 13. Hassan Khan to continue. Great delivery, goes past the outside edge of Zia Shahzad's bat. 7 from 8 with 1-4. Elias Sonny is the one who just came in to bat at number 10. He's faced one ball and did not score off of it. But a very long way to go here. In the air, that is going to be in the hand of, look at, oh my goodness, that is great work by the big New Zealander. It is Martin Guptill who judged it perfectly well, to perfection actually, and just wanted to get confirmation from a fan out there who I think nodded to him, saying that indeed that is a wicket. So 9 wickets are down. Unbelievable to know that that is what this match has come down to. It's a relatively good strike by Zia Shahzad, but he didn't get all of it. And Martin Guptill is down there at that hot corner for a purpose. Very tall, so he can get those balls that are high. And then he caught it, threw it back in. There we see good work, absolutely really good work, just getting that one thrown back in. And then completing the catch once he reestablished himself in bounds. Great work. There you see signaling to the fielder, in fact to the fan down there on the boundary. Confirmation that yes, I did catch that. I threw it back in and I completed the catch after I got back in. And these comments are coming in a little bit more quickly than I can read them because we're now down to the last pair. Elias Sonny faced one ball, had not scored any runs. Now he's joined at the wicket, given the dismissal of Zia Shahzad by a new batter. We'll see exactly who this is as soon as the scoreboard updates. But, my goodness, the last batter, the last pair is in. We're in the 14th over, if you can believe it. Let's see. Not exactly sure who this is, but we'll get to that as soon as we can. Going back to a full ball again. Defending it in front of the stumps. No run. This absolutely has not gone the way that you've wanted it to if you're the Atlanta Fire. Now, you're going on full attack. So there's a slip fielder in position, backward point, long on and long off for there. Only the small matter of 68 runs, 67 runs on the board, 9 wickets down. Struck down the ground, should be at least 2. Good work. In fact, teamwork gets you a couple. So 2 runs there coming from that over. That is the last over bowled by Hassan Khan. He bowled well himself. 4 overs, 2 for 19. Hamad Azam, 4 overs, 5 for 11. So between the two, they have taken 7 wickets for 28 runs. Just absolutely insane. In fact, for 30 runs, 19 and 11. 30 runs, 6-9 for 9 after 14. Paul and Sial coming back in, and you would think his role is going to be to finish off the tail. Now bowling to Elias Sunny. By the way, the new batter who is now at the non-striker's end is the former Trinidad all-rounder Rad Emirates. 2 from 4. And a long way to go toward respectability. In fact, I would suspect at least 50 runs to go before respectability. But I think their number one goal right now should just be to bat out the rest of this innings. Runs almost don't matter at this stage. You just want to bat out the innings. Or you can go big over mid-wicket for 6. That's not a bad-looking shot. That is Elias Sunny. Gets off the mark by hitting Pawan Suyal over mid-wicket for 6. Not a bad-looking shot at all. They need a whole lot more of those as the score now ticks up to 75. Pawan Suyal, 2.2 overs so far, none for 26. And now I believe this next ball will be probably the quickest match that you see, or the quickest ball of the match that you've seen so far. Oh, that was it. Yorker length drilled down to the ground for a single. Back to your comments for a second. Atlanta is not understanding the current situation. Every batters are dreaming high shots and getting out. Siddharth, I would agree with you. And RK Musical Studios, you're watching from India. Good to have you. You watched all in the minor leagues. Then you probably heard some of our matches being played in Texas, which is where I'm based. And it was really a very exciting minor league season once again that ended in last weekend, at least this past Sunday, where the Dallas Mustangs ended up winning the championship. Next delivery, defended by Red Emirate. No run there. Raj seems to think that tomorrow it's going to be an interesting match between Atlanta Fire and Samp Army. I'm sure Kings 11 Atlanta will be crushed by Kingsmen tomorrow. Interesting group, this one. So, Raj, you're adding to what I said about batting through the remaining overs. This is played off the outside edge of the bat. No run. So Raj seems to think you play through 7 overs, get 20 to 30 runs. 100 runs will make the match interesting. I agree that it will make the match interesting. I cannot imagine that it would make the match competitive. Because even if they get to 100, and look, anything can happen in cricket, we're absolutely able to agree on that. But the batting lineup of the Kingsmen doesn't seem to be the type that will be restricted on this match or on this pitch with a relatively small ground and a fast outfield. So good Yorker to close things out here by Pawan Suyal. 3 overs is what he's bowled, conceded 9 runs per over, 27 total. And at the end of 15, the score is 76 for 9. Harmeet Singh back into the attack. Bowled 2 overs earlier. Now I think he'd be coming back to end his spell. So in theory, he would bowl this over, and then the over after, well, the over after the next one after that. So figures so far for Harmeet Singh, 2.1 overs, 2 for 7. So he's the one who started the slide, and then wickets just falling at regular intervals after that. So we're now into over number 16. Red Emirate on strike, so I would think Harmeet Singh would bowl 16 and 18. Going back again. Red Emirate, very experienced, of course, playing for a number of years in the Caribbean. And you would think that he has the temperament to be able to bat all the way through. They wanted to come back for 2, but I don't know that that's something that Red Emirate would be interested in. So, Harmeet Singh, after having picked up that single. Okay, back to the comments. Read the rest of the comments in just a second. Playing this off the back foot. Great effort there. Ahmad Azam with a diving stop. Mohamed Jawad, I'm waiting for Sharjeel Khan batting. Mohamed Jawad, I agree with you. And by the way, are you the same Mohamed Jawad I know from Dallas? If you are, it would be really good for you to confirm that. And if you are, it is really good to hear from you. Assassin, I know commentators don't get the shout outs generally as it's about the players on the field, but loving your commentary. That is very flattering, and I truly do appreciate you saying that. It's something that I do for fun. And anything that I can do to make the game more interesting, particularly with if you're not able to be there, the next best thing is to hear about it and watch it. Good ball, spinning past the outside edge. And that is the end of over number 16. The score after 16 is 79 for 9. So 16 overs up, 4 to go. So you're bringing back into the attack now the opening bowler Anwar Ali Khan. 2 overs up front. And he managed to bowl relatively 2 two relatively miserly overs. 6.5 and over is relatively decent, particularly inside the power play. None for 13. Now coming back into the attack to bowl at the last pair. Now facing up to Elias Sunny. Good looking defensive shot that turns into a single, so that's not bad. Whatever you can do to make sure that the scoreboard keeps ticking is essentially what your responsibility is at this point. So to the extent that you have a long way to go, if you were, for example, to try to get the 20 to 30 runs that Raj was asking for, then you have a very long way to go. And by the way, my apologies, it appears that there is an error with the stream. We're working on that to fix it as quickly as we can. In the meantime, here's the delivery. Flicked to square leg by Ryan Emmerich. That will be the only run that they get, though, because that single. Saad Ali has fielded very well in that position all day. And looking at where we are now, we are still a very long way away from respectability, but all you can do is just try to bat all the way through the innings. Here is Anwar Ali in the air for a bit, but squirted through the offside. More work down here on the boundary for Pawan Suyal. Once again, we are certainly aware of the fact that the stream is down, and we're working on getting that as quickly as we can. Bouncing over the top of the batter when he would have been in his normal standing position, which is what the stipulation is, or at least the requirement for that type of delivery to be called a wide. If it's bouncing over the top of the batter when he's in his normal standing position, then in the words, or at least in the mind of the square leg umpire, that does not give the batter a chance to play a normal, proper cricketing stroke. So bonus run, you get the wide and another extra ball. Off the back foot, well fielded. I'll tell you what, that's a great piece of fielding by Anwar Ali. Shy at the stumps and absolutely drills the middle stump. Good thing for right. Here is Anwar Ali. That passes outside the line of off, that ball. And so just one more ball remaining here now in over number 17. Here's Anwar Ali. Clipped away for 4. I think it's good. Nope. Going to be fielded down on the boundary. That's good work. The single. Mawaz Zahid down at the boundary at fine leg. He was very fine. Off the bat, I thought that was going to go for 4, but ends up being able to stop that one from getting over the ropes. So that is the end of over number 17. Maybe we'll have Harmeet Singh coming back in. In fact, yes, we do have exactly that. So, 3 overs to go, 18 balls. Can they get 30 runs in 18 balls to make this a game? Interesting to see whether or not they'll be able to do that. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Paramvira Sports Complex. First ball of over number 18 worked away into the deep for a boundary. So this is the last over being bowled by Harmeet Singh. 2 for 9. Make that 2 for 13 from 3.1. Off the back foot, Pawan Suyal takes a shy at the non-striker's end. So 2 balls and 5 runs. And a long way. Harmeet Singh. So I'll try to paint a better picture given that you're not seeing a signal right now. And again, our apologies for having lost the feed. In the air, going on to the back foot, working that one past the bowler himself, goes all the way down to long on for a single. So this pair is sticking around and attempting to show up those at the top of the order that perhaps they need to take lessons from the lower order. This is just really good a counter-attack. Maybe it's too early to call it a counter-attack, but at least they're showing some discipline. They've shown an opportunity, at least the ability to fight through what they're looking at. You're not necessarily giving up to what has been really high-class bowling. At least it shows that you can dedicate yourself to not getting out. And sometimes it's not about hitting 4s and 6s off every ball. Sometimes it's about grinding your way through a difficult situation. And it's something I think that the middle order could have learned today. Floated up through the air and played away into the offside. Saad Ali has had a lot of work to do down here at the boundary. That's a single. 7 runs coming from the over. A productive one. About the most productive over in a really long time. At the end of 18, the score is 91 for 9. So over number 19 is about to be bowled. 3 overs from Anwar Ali Khan, and he's conceded exactly a run a ball. 3 overs, 18 runs. Coming into bowl now, number 19, looking to bowl to Riyad Emirates. Riyad Emirates, 11 from 19 with a boundary. First delivery, down the leg side. And in fact, that may just have flicked the thigh pad. Yes, you see the umpire signaling that that did in fact come off of the thigh pad. So precious dot ball. Only another 11 deliveries left in this innings. What can you get out of 11? Can you figure out a way to get 20 from 11? Can you figure out a way to get 11 from 11? Just some sort of psychological advantage, for example, would be to get to 100. Not being bowled out for 100 would certainly be one of the objectives. Lofted in the air, catchable. They will not get to 100 today. Hassan Khan pouches it easily. And unfortunately for the Atlanta Fire, about the most shambolic batting performance that we've seen in a really long time. ends with them being bowled out for 91 with 10 deliveries remaining in the innings. So going through the quick scorecard, Kennard Lewis opened the batting, 13 from 15 with 2 fours, cornered dry. Surprise opener as well, 35 from 23, but then after that, absolute disaster in the middle order. Aaron Jones 2, Lendl Simmons 0, Ricardo Powell 4, Justin Dill 1, Nasser Hussain 1, Zia Shazad 7, Farhad Reza 4. Raza. The last pair added some 23 or so runs. Elias Sunny 12 from 10, Ryan Emmerich 11 from 21. And that is the end of the batting. And again, not something that you want to write home about. The bowlers dominated by the captain, Hamad Azam, 4 overs, 5 for 11. Hassan Khan, 2 for 19 from his 4 overs. And Harmeet Singh, I thought, is the one who started the slide. 4 overs, 2 for 16. Also had good bowling from Anwar Ali Khan, 1 for 18 from 3.2. And Pawan Siyal, 3 overs, none for 27. So that is the end of really an underwhelming performance with the bat for the Atlanta Fire. The Kingsmen, who are a truly strong batting side, will take a few minutes and then come back to see if they can chase down a total of 91. In theory, they could do this relatively simply, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we'll take a short break from here, the Paramveer Cricket or Paramveer Sports Complex in Atlanta. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Welcome back to the Paramveer Sports Complex in Atlanta, Georgia. A matchup that threatened to be about the most exciting match in the entire tournament has devolved into something I would think that will end up being very one-sided. As the Kingsmen at the Atlanta Fire, Kingsmen absolutely dominating the Atlanta Fire after the Atlanta Fire won the toss and chose to bat. Only able to put forth all of 91 runs on the board. 91 runs is about what you would expect maybe from the top batter in the Atlanta side, but together they were only able to amass would get this inning started in such a way that puts the game out of reach within a small number of overs. But there's a reason why you play the entire game and don't just give up, because the other side gets the ball too, and that is Justin Dill with the new ball in hand, who is a good bowler, who bowls good high pace and bowls a very heavy ball, generally that short of length attacking type of ball that angles into the body of the batter and makes it difficult to score. But he's now bowling to Martin Guptill, former New Zealand international, world-class type of a batter, a little bit older these days, about middle 30s or so, but still more than able to put together something impressive. So let's see exactly how Justin Dill goes here as he's bowling now to Martin Guptill. In fact, it is Kennard Lewis with the gloves in hand. So we'll see how he goes here. Justin Dill, first ball, and riding the bounce, getting that one defended in front of the stumps, then they get four immediately off the mark. So Kennard Lewis hearing it from some of his friends out here. You might be able to hear them yelling over the mic, and hopefully we would have fixed all of the issues that we had earlier. This one, very entertaining listening to these, the friends of Kennard Lewis, who again has the ball behind the stumps. So Justin Dill bowling to Sharjeel Khan. If you've never seen Sharjeel Khan bat before, and I hope this is not a case of me jinxing him, if you've never seen him bat before, he's a tremendous batter, extremely aggressive. Anything that is in his arc, he loves scoring in that range between long on and mid wickets. Scores a very high proportion of his runs in that exact area. So pay attention to this, because if it is full, or even if it's short, if it's in toward his body, he absolutely loves it there. So watch how he takes on Justin Dill here. Justin Dill over the wicket. Oh, tries the pull sweep. It's exactly the type of ball I was talking about. Maybe a little early on the shot. It doesn't make clean contact. But 91 runs is all that you could come up with if you're Atlanta Fire. And now you're going to be asked to somehow hold this team, the Kingsmen, which is a strong batting side, to less than 5 runs and over. I don't know how possible that is. That's the assignment right now, though. Tries the pull again. That one doesn't quite bounce as high as he was looking for it to. Sailing through and collected by wicketkeeper Kennard Lewis. Interesting that Kennard Lewis was maybe back about 15 yards, and he's now snuck up a couple of yards. It's an indication that the ball isn't coming through as quickly or with as much pace as he was anticipating. So back into the attack, Justin Dill. Defended in front of Red Emirates in the covers for no run. So just one ball. Actually, in the context of this game, a really good over on the way here by Justin Dill. There's one ball remaining and just one run coming from the over so far. Shahjil Khan faced 4 deliveries, has yet to score. Martin Guptill scored a single off of the 1 ball that he's faced so far. Here's the last ball of over number 1. And it is defended. Oh, they call for a quick run and they'll get there easily. That is Lendl Simmons back on the rope, or not on the rope, but on the edge of the circle. Single to take things to the end of the first over. Another 89 runs needed in another 114 balls. The score is 2 without loss. Spin. Milo Ponzo. So if you're going to defend 91 runs, you are going to absolutely need to take wickets. So this is a bit of a bold move by Captain Aaron Jones to open the bowling with Amilo Ponzo, the left-arm spinner. Left-arm spinner who's bowling at first delivery to Shahjil Khan, just played down to mid-wicket for a single. Generally speaking, Shahjil Khan bowling or facing a left-handed bowler is going to look to play that ball away in this area of the field. In other words, in some ways I may be ready for a catch sometime very soon, because he's very strong again in the arc between long on and mid-wicket, maybe even square leg. So that slog sweep will always be an option if he gets the right ball. This time he's bowling to Martin Guptill though. And in fact, this pair is taking it much more sedately and much more with less of a sense of urgency. Had they been chasing a big score, they might have been going after it more, but it's almost as though they know that they don't have to go very far. Milo Ponzo bowling a good line and a good length, drawing Martin Guptill forward, stretching for that one. Now, bearing in mind where we are, in the slot, lofted down the ground, and 6. Oh my goodness, that crashes into a tree behind the side screen. So I said that they were taking it very sedately. Well, that's not evidence of them taking it sedately. That is banged down the ground for a big 6. Martin Guptill finally getting into his craft, shifting through the gears, you would think is what his strategy is going to be here. That one was floated up there, not much pace, and the length is, I think, his undoing, leaving it just a little too long, pitching it right in the drive. Guptill did not need to use his feet to try to get to the pitch, just playing through the line. So 2 deliveries remaining here in over number 2. Amilo Ponzo, the left arm spinner, into the attack. Again, driven in the air, but this one is catchable. Long run and taken. Look at that catch. I tell you what, you don't take 10 wickets without taking 1. And Martin Guptill looking big, and that ball probably got under it just a little too much. It swirled in the air for a very long time, but eventually settles in the hands of, I believe that's Zia Shazad. So, once again, you're going to have to bowl them out in order to win this match. And you don't get 10 wickets without first getting 1. So Martin Guptill skies 1, 7 from 5 with a 6. But he has to go, and that is 1 of 10. You would be thinking, if you're the Atlanta Fire, that you have the opportunity to fight back in a game. I don't know realistically that you can have anything close to any confidence that you can win this game, but at least your objective is to try to make this a competitive game. And once again, you're not going to get to 10 wickets without getting to one. So one ball remaining here, Milo Panto. So rolling the dice that time is Aaron Jones, and opening the bowling with the spinner actually pays off. Milo Panto now 1 for 7 from .5 overs. And the new batter coming in is going to be Ramiz Raja. Ramiz Raja, the wicket-keeper batter. And obviously you're in the power play overs. This is just the end of the second over. You have to get through 6 overs first before you are out of the power play. And the power play, as a reminder, is the first 6 overs, the first 36 legal deliveries, and during which you can only have 2 fielders outside the circle. Quicker and cut away for 4. Very far outside the line of off stump, so the width was what was wrong with that one from Emilio Panto. Tried to fire through more quickly, but ending up just getting it too wide. Ramiz Raja quick to pounce on it, chopping it through that vacant third area. No one in the deep third, and it races away for 4. So that is the end of over number 2. 1 wicket falls, but 11 runs come from it though. And at the end of 2, the score is 13 for 1. Sharjil Khan back on strike. And Mohamed Jawad, you said that you waited for Sharjil Khan to bat. Well, now you have it. Sharjil Khan now facing up to Justin Dill. Faced 6 deliveries so far, only 2 runs to his name. But he's the kind of batter who can explode at any point in time. Now here's Justin Dill. Stroked. Oh, that gets right through the fielder. Short cover, and it's going to run away for 4. That's right. Emirates didn't get down in time to stop that one. And it shoots right through him and goes away for 4. Sharjil Khan has the capability of scoring very quickly, as Mohamed Jawad, I'm sure, can let you know. And you do not need to help him by misfielding balls that should have been stopped. So the deficit is now 75. You need 75 from 107. Bang! In the air. Is it going to be clear of the fielder running back from... Oh my goodness, look at that catch. Look at that catch. That is an amazing catch taken, running all the way back with his back to the action. Farhad Raza was blinded because he's running back and looking over his shoulder, but does enough to keep the ball within his sights and diving at the end to complete really what has to be classified as the catch of the day so far. Really good looking play. And 2 wickets are down. Look at this. The 2 openers are gone. And once again, as said, you don't get to 10 without first getting to 1. Well, first you've gotten to 1. Now you've gotten to 2. Because Justin Dill has already picked up the wicket of Sharjil Khan. Martin Guptill was picked up by Milo Panto. And all of a sudden, what could potentially have been a walk in the park is turning into a much more difficult proposition than either of the captain or vice captain Hamad Azam or Harmeet Singh would have thought possible. So 3 deliveries now into over number 2. And the responsibility is now up to Saad Ali to steady the ship. I don't know that this qualifies as wobbling just yet. This certainly would be the case that you it would be the case that you have to make sure that you take no more chances, and this very much the case that you're not chasing a big total. You only need 4.25 runs and over. One boundary and over. One boundary every 3 overs probably gets you there if you mix in singles. So you just need to keep scoring. This is Sada Ali. Lefty, not as big a power hitter as Sharjeel Khan, but he's also very good facing up to Justin Dill. Well played. And that approach here by Sada Ali is really all that you need. You get a good ball, you defend it. You get a ball that you can attack, you attack it. There's no reason to go hell for leather for any reason other than, again, if you were chasing 191, that would have been one thing. But the first inning score was 91. The first inning score is what you'd expect typically after about 14 or so overs. Good ball. Plays this one down to deep third for a single. So, 17, make that 18 for 2 with one ball to come. And it is just mystifying how two really good batting sides have already lost 12 wickets with 107 runs, not yet. In fact, 107 runs have scored for the day so far. 12 wickets already lost. This is Ramiz Raja. Ramiz Raja tends to be one of the more aggressive batters, but again, this situation calls for calm heads and not necessarily aggression. That's well played. On the back foot, defending this one in front of the stumps for no run. That is the end of over number 3. Justin Dill, success. 2 overs, 1 for 7. Amilo Aponso, 1 over, 1 for 11. And the Kingsmen are 18 for 2. $18 for 2. And we're going back to the left arm spin of Amilo Aponso. And why not? It has worked so far. 11 runs is all you're gonna give up in 1 over, but if in the process of giving up 11 runs you take a wicket, you'll take that. Sada Ali defending this one in front of Justin Dill, standing at short mid-wicket. Justin Dill with a good effort, but can't stop that single. So you get to the point where you start looking at what do you need to do from here to win. And again, this is a pretty simple proposition. You're only needing another as this is fired down the leg side. This might have been runs off the bat. Let's see. It's glanced around the corner by Ramiz Raja. So the issue is runs are going to come. The outfield is very small. It is very fast. And so anything along the lines of a decent partnership can put this game out of reach. Even if you put together a partnership of 25 from here, it can succeed in taking the game away from the opposition. So you just simply need to keep going in that direction. All you'll need to do is just stick to your disciplines, and that should be good enough. Looking for a single here, boy. Right, Emirates playing a bit of football. 2 balls remaining here in over number 4. 24 runs on the board, 2 wickets. Sada Ali back on strike. Amilo Aponso with the delivery. Cut away, but straight to that man at short third. It's Nasir Hussain in that position. And one ball remaining now over number 4. Driven down the ground for a single. That is the end of over number 4. In fact, throw coming down into the keeper's end. End of over 4. The score is 25 for 2. So change in bowling. Red Emirates takes the ball in hand. Quality all-rounder when he played regularly for Trinidad. These days just a little bit older, so maybe not quite the same player he was some time ago, but certainly good enough for this level. And he's going to be looking to break this partnership. Looking to bowl now to Saad Ali. 3 from 6, Ramiz Raja, 9 from 4. Here's Red Emirate. Pulled away into the deep for 4. Not getting much control over that ball. Less of a pull and more of a ball that ballooned off of the Q end of the bat. But it certainly had enough on it to take it wide of that fielder at mid-on and have it race away for 4. So a positive start to the over. If not in terms of the execution of the shot, at least the intent. 29 runs now on the board. You need another 63 in 95 balls. Required rate now under 4. Ramiz Raja Saad Ali riding the bounce on that one and running it down into the backward point area. So we'll continue to pay attention to what this is going to look like, because there's a long way to go, but you get the sense there were a few blows landed early, but this pair is here that seems to want to just steady the ship. Here's Red Emirate. Oh my goodness, forget steadying the ship. Ramiz Raja wants to end this game with the 1 stroke. Dancing down the wicket at Red Emirate. Wants to hit him into field number 1. Not able to pull that off, but it's a very positive mindset shown by Ramiz Raja. Again, it's easy to second guess. You don't necessarily need to dance down the wicket to hit 6s. You simply need to milk the bowling, and whatever happens, happens. Pulled away around the corner for 4. Red Emirate getting this one too straight this time and just helped around the corner. Ramiz Raja just pivoting up on his toes and getting that one wide. In fact, to find the fielder, Saad Ali. In fact, the fielder down here is Justin Dill. Got it away from him down at deep fine leg. They run through for another another 4. So, 34 for 2. You need another 58 runs. In theory, this should be a walk in the park. Short, doesn't exactly time it properly. Rushing onto him is that ball. Red Emirate still able to bowl with a bit of pace. Now single down to long on means that you have 2 more balls in which to score in this over. 35 for 2. So here's Red Emirate again. That's a good length, really good length. And Aaron Jones, my apologies. Aaron Jones, in fact, the captain pulling strings, trying to get some productivity out of his bowlers. That is the end of over number 5, 35 for 2.
Back on that.
35 for 2. 5 overs up, scoring at the rate of 7 and over. And we are now to the business end of this match. Bowler Milo Alfonso took a break. Elias Sonny is the one with the ball in hand, the left arm orthodox spinner, so similar to Alfonso in that way. Dancing down the track, going big, and that's going to be 6 over extra cover. Ramiz Raja playing with the turn. That is what made that such a good shot. Playing with the turn because that ball is turning across him, turning away from him. He elevates it in the air over extra cover for 6. So that is a good-looking strike. And now you've gotten to the point where scoring is starting to become a little easier. Nervous moments up front. And you certainly would have felt that things were going to be difficult. But this partnership now worth some 27 runs. Here's next delivery. Oh, wound up looking for the big one. My goodness. That was there to be hit. Maybe just dipping a little at the very last point there. Ramiz Raja couldn't get under it. But certainly an opportunity to score big there. He'll consider himself unlucky that he didn't catch up with that one. Cheeky, absolutely cheeky. Genuine late cut. Gets it too fine for Lendl Simmons. And that ball races away for another boundary. So 10 from the over so far with 3 to come. In fact, make that 2 to come. And now let's see exactly how Elias Sonny is going to be able to come back. In the slot, drilled again down the ground, but the one fielder out there on the boundary is able to prevent that from going away very far. But Ramiz Raja now looking to finish things, you would think, with some degree of urgency. Maybe at some point the conversation about net run rate comes into effect. So maybe that might explain his reasoning behind attacking as much as he is. 1 ball remaining. Field switching around for the left-hander, Saad Ali. Saad Ali 8 from 9 with 1-4. Ramiz Raja 25 from 12 with 4 fours and a 6. In the air, in the gap, a lot of work for Riyad Emir to do. Uses the football skills to keep that one from going over the rope. That's good work. 2 runs to the total. So an expensive over. 13 coming from the over. At the end of 6, that is the end of the power play. The score is 48 for 2. So 48 for 2 is the score after 6, going at the rate of 8 and over. And now into the attack. I believe this is Zia Shazad. Not wearing a jersey, so it's kind of hard to tell. A jersey with a number, I should say, so it's hard to tell, but I think that's Zia Shazad. You're out of the power play now, so you can be a little bit more defensive with your field settings. Yep, this is in fact Zia Shazad now bowling to Ramiz Raja. Pushes it through. This is pulled toward the gap. A lot of work for Lendl Simmons to do. Tries the football skills again. This time it doesn't work. And that brings up the 50. That boundary takes you, in fact, you've gotten more than halfway there at this point. Boy, you had a lot of time there, Lendl Simmons, if you wanted to be a little bit more committed to stopping that ball, getting down to use the long boundary or to actually use your hands to try to stop that one, but choosing to do neither. And that ball bouncing across the turf, bounced over his foot. Lofted in the air. How catchable is this? Oh my goodness! Burst right through the hands of Justin Dill for 6. You will see that 100 times, and 99 of those times he will take that catch. My goodness. It bursts right through his hands. He is inside the rope by probably a yard. And I think he essentially already assumed that he would have caught that. And unfortunately for him, it bursts through his hands and goes for 6. Looking to work this away on the onside. And I don't know whether or not you all can hear the shouting of who are obviously friends of Kenar Lewis. Just 34 more runs needed. This match very much could be finished very quickly. Here's Zia Shazad dropping this one behind point, and they run through for an easy single. Boy, looking at that again, Justin Dill watched it the entire way into his hand, and it burst right through and goes away for 6. Easily could have taken that catch, Justin Dill, and again, 99 times out of 100, you'd think that he would have caught that. Next delivery off the back foot. I tell you what, that kicked off of some indentation in the ground. Brad Emirates with the football work again. So the two Trinidadians in the outfield are displaying their football skills, and it is really appreciated by the fans that you might be able to hear. 2 more runs though. 13 runs come from the over so far. Here's the last ball. Plays this away. Good diving stop. Excellent by Elias Sunny. And they get 1 run. So Sadali will maintain or retain the strike. 14 runs come from the over. At the end of 7, it is 62 for 2. So, small matter of 7 overs bowled, 62 runs on the board. Ordinarily, that's not necessarily remarkable, as they say in the medical profession, but this time it means that you only have another 30 runs to go in the next 7 to 8 balls. Elias Sunny, looking big, wanting to go down the ground. You see the reaction there from Saad Ali, knowing that he didn't come close to hitting that the way that he wanted to. Gets a single. He now moves up, Saad Ali, to 14 from 13 with 1-4. The more enterprising of this pair has been Ramiz Raja, 36 from 16 with 5 4s and 2 6s. Here's Sunny. Down the track, wanting to go big. That is a good piece of bowling. He knows that he wants to attack him. Saad Ali is standing at the non-striker's end, seeing Ramiz Raja look to go big, wants to go straight down the ground, using his feet to try to get to the pitch, working this into the leg side for a single. So, looking at where you are now, another 28 runs needed from the next 75 balls. It is no longer a question of scoring rate, in much the same way that you can stop talking about scoring rate when the asking rate gets too high, 16, 17, 18. In exactly the same way, the scoring rate here is irrelevant, because if you do not get bowled out, if you're the Kingsmen, you win this game easily. And the only thing that you can do here if you're the Atlanta Fire is to take wickets. Oh, split second there. Saad Ali was winding up to go big and then checked his shot at the last second. So that means that you only need now another 27 runs. 27 runs in the next 74 balls. And look at Ramiz Raja here. I guarantee you he's not looking to use 74 balls. Stroking it straight down the ground. That might be 4. No. Good piece of work in the deep. Zia Shahzad. Look at that throw. Straight to the keeper's end. Great piece of fielding by Zia Shahzad. It's a 1 ball. In fact, is that the end? That is the end of the over. So, end of the over. Score is 66 for 2, with another 26 needed for victory. So in theory, we have about 2 or 3 more overs left in this match. I certainly wouldn't think that it would take anywhere near 20 overs that are left, so we probably won't even need to mention that either. Ramiz Raja is on strike. He has 38 from 19 with 5 4s and 2 6s. This is Zia Shahzad continuing, leg spinner bowling to Ramiz Raja. In the air and over the head of Amilo Panza, backward point, running close to the boundary. That is a good stop on the boundary. Sweeping by Justin Dill. Made several yards to his left.
He went straight and then went right.
Come across and keep that from going over the rope. But 2 more runs to the total. 24 runs away now.
If that didn't bong, so it would have been
target of 92. You're again very unchallenged, one might think, in trying to get to the total that you need to get to. Good ball here by Zia Shahzad. That ball, looking for the big drive, was Ramiz Raja not able to get to that one. By the way, I said Justin Dill earlier. That's actually Corny Dry up there on the boundary. My apologies. Corny Dry opening the batting today and has not yet bowled. Stroke down the ground. Oh, Lendl Simmons reacted a little late to that, but he'll get there in time. Down to the last 23 balls. I'm sorry, the last 23 runs. Now with the left-hander on strike, Justin Dill coming into the circle. Rad Emmerich going out, sweeping on the offside. Zia Shahzad a long pause, but now delivers. Hammered straight for 4. Bullet absolutely down the ground. And that made a sweet sound coming off the bat. You're down now to the last 19 runs as the score ticks over to 73. 19 runs needed, again from 68 balls. So that's, again, probably irrelevant. Next delivery. Looking for the quick single. They took it. Throw to the non-striker's end. Not going to be in time. So 1 ball remaining now here in over number 9. 18 runs is what you need the rest of the way. I'm just curious as to why Corny Dry did not bowl today. Don't know whether or not he's hurt. But he opened the batting, whereas he usually opens the bowling and then essentially is fielding without having bowled. So here's Zir Shazad. Cuts this one away, but good stop by Amilo Panzo. Good work. Close things out here in over number 9. 8 runs coming from that over. At the end of 9, the score is 74 for 2.
Not much. Okay. I thought,
Nasser Hussain with the ball in hand. Just another 18 runs to defend. You need to get those 18 runs in 11 overs with 8 wickets in hand.
Well, no, yeah,
Nasser Hussain now bowling to Saad Ali.
Probably impossible for these guys.
Single into the covers, corner dry. Who I assume is not going to bowl today. You would not bring your big fast bowler in to bowl with 17 balls remaining and 8 wickets in hand and 10.5 overs to go. I just don't think that would be realistic. So you'd get the sense that he's probably just resting the rest of the time out there. Nasser Hussain, this is his first over, conceding a run so far from his 1 ball. Ramiz Raja drills this one over cow corner. That's the biggest 6 of the day so far, and unfortunately we're going to need a replacement ball. Dancing down the wicket. He's tried that a few times already. This time he makes clean contact, and it goes all the way for 6. So, quick summary of where we are, as it seems like this match is on the verge of being completed.
Okay.
Ramiz Raja batting now with Saad Ali. Tried to go big again, misses out on the shot. Still 11 runs to get. So I realized that I'd missed a couple of messages. Let's just get caught up with them. Raj, 100 is not a good score to defend. I'm sorry. I hate to disagree with you, but it made it more interesting, but it's not a good score to defend, and that is pounded away into the deep. A lot of work to do out there, and that fielder, Zia Shazad, I believe that is not going to be able to get to it. So yet another boundary. And in fact, I need to hurry up and get through the rest of these because only 7 more runs are needed, and it appears as though Ramiz Raja has a plane to catch. Superb catch. I do agree with you, RK Musical Studios. And Raj, Fire missed a good start. Kingsmen batting great. They are a great batting side as that ball is wide outside the line of off stump. And that means that you are now 1 stroke away from this game being finished. You need another 6. Here is this delivery. Oh, attempting to cut this away. There's an area behind point. No one in the deep out on that part of the ground. So a 4 there is always there for the taking. Oh, looking again to go through on the offside. Missing out on that attempted shot. And that is the end of over number 10. If you can believe it, we actually stretched this into the back end of the innings, the second half of the innings. Still 6 runs to get. And this, I suspect, will be the last break that we'll take. We'll be right back. By the way, we never did acknowledge that Ramiz Raja got to his 50. Very aggressive batting. By right, should not have gotten to 50 because he was dropped by Justin Dill. And that ball burst through his hands, and not only did he not catch it, it went for 6. So he'll not be happy with that. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make a very big difference, I don't think. This team bats very deep. Zir Shazad coming in, looking to close things out here. Pushes this one through quickly. This is a wide. And so a 4 levels things the way you are right now. A 6 wins it. As I said, I suspect that this game will be finished in this over. Oh, dancing down the track. Interesting. Looking to attack. Almost got left down the river, as they say. But he ended up being able to get the bat down on that. Otherwise, that would have been an easy stumping for Kenar Lewis. Zir Shazad, 5 balls remaining here in this over. Stroked down to mid-wicket for a single. And so now a boundary wins this game for you. And let's see whether or not Ramiz Raja wants to finish this in style. I would not be surprised if he tried to hit this one into field number 1, the field just north of the field on which you're currently watching. There it goes. That's the end of the game. And it does go into field number 1, actually. And look at that. There's a catch taken on field number 1 at the exact moment that the ball is passing him. That is Shehan Jayasuri on the other field. Takes 1 catch and then immediately has to field this ball. But as far as this game is concerned, a pretty straightforward victory for the Kingsmen. They win by 8 wickets, courtesy, of course, to an absolute onslaught with the ball. So a pretty straightforward game in the end. A couple of wobbles at the top. They lost both their openers. But looking at the full scorecard, Kenar Lewis, corner dry, opened the batting, put together a bit of a partnership, but then nothing after that until the very end. And they were all out for 91. So just a disappointing performance with the ball that time, or with the bat rather, for the Fire. And then the bowlers didn't have a whole lot to do. Martin Guptill, 7 from 5 with a 6. Shahjil Khan, 6 from 9 with a 4. Those 2 were lost relatively early. Wickets falling at 9 and at 17. But then after that, an unbeaten partnership of 94. In fact, unbeaten partnership of 77 ensures that these 2 see the Kingsmen home without much trouble. Ramiz Raja, 57, not out from 29, 6 4s and 4 6s. And Saad Ali, 22 from 20 with 2 4s. A couple of wides finishes your scoring, and so you did not even use anything close to all of your weapons in getting essentially what was a very straightforward victory. The margin of victory is a very, very large one. 8 wickets. And finishing those 8 wickets inside 11 overs. So that will help you on your net run rate calculations. So that is the end of the match. There you see just a quick summary of the match. And I'll tell you, it is really a dominating performance by the Kingsmen. A very talented side. And again, even though they wobbled just a little bit in the chase, they did well enough to be able to get essentially a very straightforward victory. So happy to have been with you here. Thank you for keeping me company for the last several hours. And we will be here the rest of the week. The Atlanta Open right here in the Parambeers Sports Complex in Atlanta, Georgia. For now, this is Brian Walters signing off for the evening. Happy to have been with you. Good night and good luck.
Ready, boy? How long I see this man, boy? I see this man.
Shavi, are you guys gonna be late? Are you guys gonna be late?
I'll do right now.
No, he's waiting on you guys. Are you guys gonna be late? That's what I'm asking. Dimitri, are you guys gonna be late? Nobody. She wants to go hotel.
Good? I think I remember the face.
I don't remember the face, but I don't remember the name.
Marlon Richards. I'm watching him all the night, so I can't leave him. I can't leave him. I can't leave him. I'm going to walk past me, I can't leave him. You don't leave him. Until you see, I went to get then I go say, good for that one. Yeah. I'm eager to tell you who's not good friends with I'm doing my while now too, so
Long
the
time.
family and his son. This is inherited past now.
Inherited and passed down. Anyway, I'm going up the road here, sir. Bless it. Good morning. Yeah. Bless it. Big man, good morning.
Hey, yeah, man.